This tutorial will show you how to take a document, import it into Starboard software so that you can interact and annotate on it with your interactive whiteboard. I'm going to create a new Starboard flip chart, and because I'm not plugged into the projector right now, it's going to tell me I'm not connected, but I need to go to the upper right hand corner and open the Documents tab. Down at the bottom there's a place to add attachments. I want to click on the plus, and then I just happen to have a PDF of a math worksheet on my desktop. So I'm going to access that, and it now appears as a file in my attachments section at the bottom. As I hover over each of the elements at the bottom, I can tell what they're all for, but the one I'm looking for right now is Import. I see that it's the third one from the left, and when I select it, it automatically brings the document into my Starboard file. Now here I'm sizing it up so that it will be as large as possible. I can make it fit the screen, or I can stretch it out. I like it stretched out. When I close the Documents tab, I'm going to be able to see the entire page. Now I've got the entire document. I just scroll down, and what I can do is choose the tools over on the left hand side and either write on it, highlight it, or annotate it in any way that fits your teaching for the day. Now another thing you might want to do is pull in a website or text from something that you find online. One really excellent source of articles that can be leveled up or down depending on the reading level of your students is News ELA. So let's say that I find an article on here that I want my students to be able to do a close read with, but I don't want to have to print out 25 copies of this 4-page article for each student in my class. There are a couple of ways to be able to annotate something you find online in Starboard software. For the first method, begin with a blank Starboard document and select the mouse tool from your toolbar. Anything you had open behind Starboard, in this case I had a website here, will open up and the Starboard toolbar will still be visible. Simply select any tool from your menu and the Starboard software will capture and import a screenshot of that item or document. Now, you can see why this is definitely not my favorite method. You get a very zoomed in, really weird looking little piece of the entire article when what you actually want is some of the text. So I don't recommend that way. The second method involves adjusting your settings within Starboard so that it won't capture a screenshot, but rather allow you to annotate on the desktop itself. To do this, I'm going to go to Starboard Software, Preferences, and on the second tab, which is for Annotation, select Write on Desktop. Writing on the captured desktop is what we were doing before. Now when I select the mouse tool and my web page is open behind it, I can select any of my tools from my toolbar and actually write directly on the text. Now the problem with this is when I scroll up and down the page, the annotation doesn't move with the text. That's kind of a problem if you ask me. So I don't prefer that way either. This third way is by far my favorite, and in my opinion, the most effective way of getting all of the text into your Starboard document. This method begins by saving your target text, whatever it is, no matter where it is, as a PDF. PDF stands for Portable Document Format, and it's simply a file format that's used to present documents in a manner that doesn't matter what kind of software, hardware, or operating system you use. On a Mac, it's very simple to create a PDF. Just go up to the File menu on whatever program you're using, select Print, and then choose PDF from the bottom left corner. You want to save this as a PDF. It's going to ask you what you want to call it and where you want to save it, so just be sure you remember what you called it and where you put it. Going back to my News ELA site, I see that they have a print function right there at the bottom of the page. I can select print, and then I can also select to download it from the top right corner. Same thing, I'm just going to try to remember where I put it. In this case, it's going to go to my desktop. I'm going to open up Starboard. I'm going to add it as an attachment, just like we did before. I'll find it on my desktop, click Open, and watch as it appears in my Attachments section. Again, I'm going to click Import, and now the entire contents of the whole article are going to go into my document. Once again, I'm going to expand the size of my screen so it takes up as much space as it can. I'll close my Documents tab over on the right-hand side, and there's my text. Now I can scroll up and down on the page and use my tools from my toolbar to annotate directly on the text. This time, my annotations will stay with the text. When I open up my document folder over on the side, you'll see that this document has multiple pages, so I can click or swipe to turn the page, and then I can annotate on the next page, and the next page after that. Just think of all the great educational graffiti that you and your students will be able to create. For even more information and ideas on how to get the most out of your classroom technology, visit us at BPS-TIS.org. You'll find lots more resources just like this one produced by your Billings Public Schools Technology Integration Specialists.